A few months ago, I attempted to do a deck makeover and create a romantic oasis. My back deck gets full sun all day long, and we didn't have any type of shade for relief during those hot summer days. The space turned out so beautiful and exactly how I had envisioned it, but unfortunately, Mother Nature prevailed and completely wrecked my new oasis. If you didn't catch the deck makeover video, this was where we left off. Well, since then, I bought a 10-foot by 20-foot gazebo, and Mom came over to help me set it up. I didn't record this time, but again, the deck was looking beautiful until Mother Nature once again had a mind of her own. This has been the rainiest summer with so many severe storms that I can remember in decades. But after the storm I just showed you, we were supposed to get more severe storms in a few days. The gazebo was really starting to lean and fall apart despite it being bolted down to the deck, so I decided to get it taken down before a storm took it and possibly hurt someone or damage something worse. You guys, look what came in today. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This pergola is going to be massive. There are 5 giant boxes, and this thing weighs over 600 pounds. A company called Mirador saw my deck makeover disaster and kindly reached out to me to send me one of their pergolas. I am so grateful because this thing is built to withstand all of the seasons. How the heck am I going to get it from my garage, out the door, onto the deck? I'm going to attempt to build this thing by myself, but considering how big it is a 10-foot by 20-foot size. It's the same size that my gazebo was before. We all know how round 2 turned out of attempting to shade my deck. So let's hope that round 3 works out a lot better. I opened the box in my garage and then carried all of the parts back out to the deck. Thankfully, we have an entrance to the deck right from the garage, which made it a little bit easier. And right off the bat, I was impressed with the quality of the materials in comparison to the gazebo. It even came with this large toolbox that had all the hardware organized inside. To start out, you need to attach the posts to the base plates. This is what's going to anchor the pergola down to the surface you have. We're starting out pretty easy here. Next, I need to connect the perimeter frame and gutter system. This pergola has a rain runoff system with gutters built in to drain water off of the roof and down through the posts. I love this feature after that gazebo just pulled water in the center and completely stretched out the fabric. This is about when I realized just how big this thing was, and there would be no freaking way that I could lift even one side of that frame myself. While I was debating how to try and get it lifted myself, Sarge thought it was just playtime with all of this open space for activities. Well, I could at least get the posts attached to the 2 sides by myself before needing to call in reinforcements. It looked like this part was going to be super simple. The post just slides onto these metal brackets, but for whatever reason, I could not get them to slide on. I watched the instructional video they have, read the directions multiple times, and then I started to search YouTube for other creators who had built this pergola to try and figure out what the heck I was doing wrong. Well, there wasn't a ton of videos out there to begin with, and the ones that I did find, the people would start attaching the post and then cut to it being complete. So I knew that they must have struggled as well. Finally, I found a video that explained what to do. Okay, so I figured out why I was having such a hard time getting these post legs into the frame last night. I searched so many tutorials of people putting this thing together. No one was explaining it. It's not in the instructions, and it's also not like in the written instructions, and it's also not in the video instructions that you can look up to watch on how to put this thing together. So finally, I found one video of someone explaining what you need to do here. So I've been trying to get these grooves, and I know it's like going to be hard to see, but like I've been trying to get the little brackets here to slide in between the grooves. Could not, for the life of me, figure that out. Gave up last night. You need to actually loosen these things, which I guess, yes, common sense now that like hindsight's 2020, but I didn't think about that yesterday, and you would think it would tell you somewhere in the instructions, hey dummy, loosen the screws before you slide it in and it will actually go in, piece of cake, no problem. But here we are. So if someone else tries to put this together, loosen the dang screws. I finally got the posts on and tightened the bolts back up. That's about as far as I can get without reinforcements. So I got the two sides. We're gonna go this length and then that length of the deck. And now I had to call mom over to help get the rest of this put up. Once we got the sides of the frame standing, I wanted to anchor it down before continuing to build. I only added in 2 bolts on the 4 corners for now. The directions don't tell you to anchor it down until the very end, but I didn't want this thing falling over on us with the winds that we get here. I did this section near the railing first, that way we could put the sides on and then have room to play with the back section of the frame. Now it's time to add in the louvers, which is definitely the most time-consuming part of this build. 2 of the louvers get this arm attached, which will control the movement of the louvers. And the rest, we still need to attach the end caps before installing them. So Mom and I created an assembly line and put half the louvers together so we could install them all together. The louvers were easy to put in. There was a slot already on the frame for each one, and then you just add a bracket on top to hold them in place. For the second side, Mason had just returned home from his vacation and helped us to finish the rest of the louvers. Once all the louvers are on, you have to attach a little knob that's on one end of the louvers into a slotted bar. This is the arm that will make all the louvers move in unison together. Like I mentioned earlier, Mirador has kindly sponsored this video, and I am so excited to finally be able to enjoy my deck. I have the 111 DA louvered 10-foot by 20-foot pergola. And while I know this is an investment, I truly believe it is worth it after everything I've been through trying to get the deck shaded this summer. If you have a smaller space, the 10 by 10 would be a great option as well. When it comes to structures like this, you get what you pay for, which I unfortunately learned more than once this summer. Of course, after we got the pergola built, it wasn't long before the rain came through. But I was actually hoping for rain this time so I could see how it does before the video got posted. And I'm so excited to share that the area under the louvers stayed completely dry. Finally, after 3 attempts, it looks like I can enjoy my back deck even during this crazy wet year that we've had. Now I just need to get the furniture put back where it belongs. So you can see while I'm getting the furniture back out, there really isn't much shade at this time of the day. The angle of the sun is shining onto the deck. And this was why I had the curtains up before to help block it a little. But I wasn't sure how to put curtains up on the pergola since this is aluminum. Instead, I picked up 2 of these outdoor roller shades to help block the sun. and this walnut color matches my decor perfectly. I did have to drill some holes into the pergola to hang them, which isn't ideal. However, it was worth it to have additional shade. Oh, and you guys, look who finally got back. I can't believe the husband is home. It has been way too long. The shades come with bungees to tie them down and keep them from blowing around in the wind. While I love that romantic oasis look that the curtains added to this space, the shades do feel a little more practical. The only thing left to do is add some light for the evenings. In my previous setup, I had cafe string lights and I love the look of those, but wanted to change it up. My husband found these outdoor LED strip lights in the Home Depot clearance section, so we decided to give those a try. These lights have a sticky back, but it wouldn't stick to that powder coating texture of the pergola. And I was not going to drill any more holes in this thing to put lights up. So I bought Christmas light hooks to see if that would work. The back of the clip stuck out a little bit too far, so I cut that part down. Then I was able to slide them over the LED strip and onto the edge of the gutter. Since these lights are for outdoor use, they're also waterproof, which is why they have that thick silicone casing around them. I decided not to take the sticky backer off of these just in case we ever want to take them down and put them somewhere else we easily can. It has been 3 long months since I started this deck makeover, and I think it is finally in a good spot where we can sit outside and enjoy it without the fear of Mother Nature continuing to ruin my hard work. So if you're in the market for a shade option at your home, there is additional information along with a discount code listed in my description box. Mirador will also be launching a promotional event starting September 15th, 2023, which I'll share more details on in an upcoming video.